Can I get roll call, please?
Councilmember Mario Buchanan Jr.,
Present.
Councilmember Africa Luna Carrasco,
Present.
Councilmember Jose Ponce,
Present.
Councilmember Matias Rosales,
Present.
Councilmember Gloria Torres,
Present.
Vice Mayor Maria Cecilia Cruz,
Present.
Mayor Gerardo Sanchez.
Present.
Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you. We're going to go ahead and go with the first item, item number 2A, discussing the possible direction of staff on all matters regarding the approval of the contract with the nonprofit corporation Comité Bienestar Incorporated for the Off-Road Expo event in San Luis, Arizona, fiscal year 2021.
Hello, good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, council members. Okay, so for this year's Off-Road Expo, we're taking the same measures we did for the San Luis Film Festival and the Comic-Con, which are this year's this year's Off-Road Expo is tentatively scheduled for May. As in the agreement mentioned, they have until June 30th, 2021 to have their event. The event is to be hosted at the Joe Ordoño Park. The contract will be with Comité, and the Comité will give the funds to the Off-Road Expo. And the contract is for a total of $10,000.
And in this contract, quick question, do they have a list of things that they're going to be providing? Okay. And the committee will be also looking for sponsors, I assume?
Correct.
Well, let me just say that that the expo is something that people missed last year, and it's something that people asked a lot. And now with the COVID situation, I think we can do it as long as we wear our mask, as long as we try to keep our distances. But wearing masks is the key here. So I think we can do a lot of things if everyone wear their masks. So let's hope it gets done. And kudos to the committee and kudos to Comité for stepping in. That's my spiel on that one. I'm going to go ahead and open the floor to council members. Matias Rosales, comments, questions, or concerns?
No concerns. No concerns. Just glad this, hopefully, like you said, this happens and we're able to get an event happening for our community.
Yeah, we need to go back. We need to go back on track, and this would be a good event. Perfect. Jose Ponce, questions, concerns, comments?
No, sir. Thank you.
Perfect. Africa Luna Carrasco, comments, questions, concerns?
Just very happy that we're moving forward and hopefully, God willing, we'll be able to have this event because it's a really nice event. And I think that a lot of people from outside San Luis come to participate in it. So that's a good thing.
And hopefully we could be offering COVID vaccines by then at the event. Just food for thought, so ojalá. Mario, comments, questions, or concerns?
No, Mayor. No, I think this is a good event. We need it. Everybody is agreeing in it. So let's bring it. Okay. Thank you, Comité.
Yep. Vice Mayor, comments, questions, or concerns?
None, Mayor.
Thank you. Gloria, comments, concerns?
No, Mayor, just that we hope that in that time the COVID is gone and we can enjoy that event. Thank you.
Hopefully we'll have a vaccine. They're saying that we might have a vaccine by November. So we'll see. We'll see if it's true. So no, as you heard, the positive comments were positive, and we're going to go ahead and proceed with this. And do we have a representative for the Comité, or who's going to talk about this? Do we have someone on the line?
If I'm not mistaken, Mayor, Gary is on the line. Gary?
Yes, I'm here.
Perfect, Gary. Well, good to hear from you. So, Gary, the Comité is basically going to be the committee, and the subcommittee is going to be under the Comité. Is that correct?
That is correct. I'm not really in tune with all of this that's going on. I know we've been planning on it and really looking forward to the event. So we're excited to work with the city on this and make it a really a nice, fun event for everyone.
It's going to be great, Gary, and I appreciate you guys stepping in. I really do. It brings solid, I mean, we wanted to make sure that the committee was solid. And by Comité doing what you're doing, it actually solidifies what needed to be and so done. So thank you. Please thank Tony and the Comité, and thank you, Gary. I know you're a man of multi hats, so
Well, we have a lot of good people there too, so it's all good. It'll work out great.
perfect, Gary. That's what I wanted to hear. So the consensus was to go ahead and proceed, okay?
All right, thank you.
Okay, we're going to go with item number 2B, discussion and possible direction of staff and all matters regarding the purchase of a new ambulance. Fire Chief Angel Ramirez, tell us about this beautiful vehicle that you're going to talk about.
Well, first, good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of council. This is one of the projects that we talked to our rep, and usually when we order these ambulances, they're custom made, so it takes around 6 to 7 months. With all that's been going on, he said probably a time frame is about 8 to 10 months. The reason that we need an ambulance, you guys saw our social media posts. The ambulance that we bought last year, we purchased it in October. We got it delivered in June with everything that we need to put in, radios and decals and all that stuff. We barely put it in service in last week or a couple of weeks back. We've been having some issues with some of our fleet ambulances, especially with the air conditioning, the ACs on the cab. A couple of them have been in the shop, so this is why I bring it up to council to see if we can proceed in purchasing this new ambulance. Also with the fire station number 2 planning and hopefully opening up by the end of the fiscal year, we want to hopefully try to upstaff a 4th ambulance. Right now we have 3 ambulances running, and we have one that's our backup, but it's actually in the shop. So this is why I brought it up to you guys, because it does take about between 8 to 10 months to get it delivered to us.
Angel, I have a quick question regarding the air conditioner. Are we going to get an upgraded air conditioner in it?
We've been buying the 3500s. That's what we've been purchasing. This ambulance that we're purchasing is a more heavy duty of 4500.
Oh, okay.
If you guys have any questions, I'm here to answer anything you guys.
So we're going with Dodge now? Just Dodge?
All our ambulances, our fleet right now, they're all Dodge, wheel coached.
Yeah. Someone has a preference for Dodge?
I think they're easier to work with from what I hear.
Okay, yeah. Okay, good. Okay, they look nice. They look nice. You received a lot of positive comments from the truck you guys bought, so it looks very impressive. So no, good deal. When it comes to public safety, we have always supported public safety. And the thing is, now that we're talking about a substation 2, it's something that we need. We need the best equipment for our firefighters and our EMTs and our paramedics. And so our council has always supported public safety. Public safety has always been a priority for our council. So thank you. Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and open the floor to council members. Matia Rosales, comments, questions, and concerns?
None, Mayor.
Perfect. Jose Ponce, comments, questions, and concerns?
No, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Figueroa Carrasco, comments, questions, and concerns?
None, Mayor.
Thank you. Marty Buchanan Jr., comments, questions, and concerns?
No, Mayor, no questions.
Thank you. Vice Mayor, comments, questions, and concerns?
None, Mayor, just said, like you said, we've been very supportive of our public safety, so This is a easy one.
Thank you.
Exactly. Good deal. Thank you, Vice Mayor. Gloria Torres, comments, questions, or concerns?
Just that I'm glad that we going to have that ambulance, especially that we're going to need it for the project that we have on a new substation that we're going to have a 9th section. That section is going to grow very, very fast. I don't know if you have seen them. There's a lot of houses, and I'm glad that we have that new ambulance. Thank you.
Thank you.
No, thank you for that comment, Gloria. So there you go, Chief. Proceed.
Thank you so much.
No, thank you. Okay, let's see here. We're going to go with item number 2C, discussing the possible action of staff in all matters regarding Resolution 2139, the resolution of the Mayor, City Council, of the City of San Luis, Arizona, in the support of the Family Development Project, Valley View Apartments, financed through an award of low-income housing tax credits, LIHTC, from the Arizona Department of Housing. Jenny Torres.
Good evening, Mayor, members of the council. I'm going to give you a little bit of background on this. If you recall, back in 2016, Comité de Bienestar submitted an application to the Arizona Department of Housing. It had been received an allocation of tax credits. We partnered with Comité at that time by supporting, I believe we supported 1% of the total project cost to be able to support the rating in the application. And it also took a trip to Phoenix to talk to the director of the Arizona Department of Housing, because it had been not only 13 years, but 4 years that Comité has submitted an application and had been successful. They were very persistent, and they were able to get the allocation for Las Brisas in 2016, and we committed about approximately $57,000 at that time. Now Comité has reapplied for another project. The project is 100 family units. They do have a special population for domestic violence. The location is right on 4th Avenue across our Public Works facility. They are focused in 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, and 4-bedroom, 40 to 50% low income. There was a market study that was conducted, and it stated that substantial need for low-income apartments. It stated there was a vacancy rate of less than 1.7%, and people were waiting up to 2 years to try to get an apartment. So Comité was successful, at least in trying to receive an allocation of $1.9 million, but the Arizona Department of Housing did set some conditions, and I'm going to read this one because it's very critical. The project was underwritten with the assumption that the local government funds are awarded to the project, and a commitment is submitted by November of 2020. If the stipulation is not met, Arizona Department of Housing will revoke the reservations of low-income housing tax credits. Comité will need to look for other permanent sources of funding that meets the underwriting criteria. I think that's one of the main conditions, and this is why they're here tonight, trying to request $100,000 in commitment to this application. The project is a $21 million investment. The $100,000 for 100 units is actually 0.7% of the total construction cost, which is less than what we provided in 2016. The permit and impact fees, we estimate that is going to be about $414,000, so we would still receive, if the commitment is made, $314,000. The project is scheduled to start construction in January of 2021 and completed in June of 2022. In our general plan, obviously, we do support affordable housing, specifically stating housing goal is to support for higher density residential housing types, including apartments, condominiums, townhouses, and attached single-family courtyard homes. So that's what is stated in our general plan. And obviously, the city does approve a resolution every year furthering fair housing. With that information, Gary is here from Comité de Bienestar to be able to address any questions. Sonia, would you mind putting up the conceptual map? So this is the conceptual design. If you see kind of like the bottom, that's where the apartments would be. I'm assuming that the top is another single-family home that Comité is proposing. So with that, I'd be able to address any questions you might have, or Gary is on the line to be able to answer any questions.
Well, let me make the first comment. First and foremost, I think $100,000 is a small investment compared to 21 million. So the city's always supporting different organizations, and we always look at what is the outcome of that investment. I think partnering with this type of project would be beneficial, especially when it's low-income housing. I have personally heard people wanting low-income housing, and there's none. They have to wait for a year and a half, almost 2 years. And when they do get it, they don't get rid of it. They just stay there. And so I am 100% supportive of this project. I think 100,000 is minimal. It's something that it's worth the partnership with Comité regarding to this project. So that's my 2 cents. So Gary, you want to say something?
Yeah, I'm here to answer questions, but and it makes me very proud. 22 years ago, I began to work with Comité, and Jenny Torres was also my comrade, my buddy. And what she says and what she does still is just as impressive to me as it was back then. So I just wanted to make that comment. But in reality, here we do have a $22 million project, actually. And Tony Reyes calls it a legacy because I'm getting so old, I guess. But but the idea is to get it through and get it done. Now we have a lot of hills to climb. A lot of things are happening with the project as I speak. Lumber prices went up 40%. Concrete's up $125 a yard. Tax credits are down. So your contribution to the project helps to fill the gap that is increasing every day. And it's so hard to take a project like this and you're forecasting 2 years out, minimally, and it's very difficult to get this project to fruition. And I just want to thank you. That is, if I get the support, I thank you very highly because it's needed, and your money will be invested wisely in a project that will reach 50% AMI tenants and families, not just tenants, but families and larger families with 4-bedroom units. And I'm very excited to this. And Mayor, I'm happy to hear your input on it. It makes me feel better to be a part of it and be a part of the community. We always have been. So that was my point with Jenny, and love working with her. And I'll be glad to answer any questions about the project specifically.
Thank you, Gary. I will now open the floor. Matia Rosales, questions, concerns?
No, I'm just glad. Hopefully, this project comes through. It'll be a great improvement for the area, for that section where the schools and 4th Avenue is, and also combined improvements to the canals right below for our future walking path plans. So we do need the housing, and I think it's a perfect location for it for the town. So hopefully, we get this done. And thanks, Comité.
Very good. Thank you, Matias. Jose Ponce, comments, questions, and concerns?
Not at this moment, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Ponce. Let's see here. Figueroa Carrasco, questions, comments, or concerns?
None, Mayor.
Thank you. Marty Buchanan Jr., comments, questions, and concerns?
None, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Vice Mayor, comments, questions, and concerns?
Yes, Mayor, I have a question. Gary, this is Vice Mayor. I'm just concerned about the domestic violence shelters that you're providing. I'm the chair for Proverbs 31 Home, and nobody ever reached out to me saying you guys were planning on building shelters. I'm also the chair for South Yuma County Domestic Violence Coalition. It just seems weird that nobody ever reached out. It would have been a nice collaboration if we would have got this, working together with the city, with the Proverbs 31 home. Gary?
Vice Mayor, yes, and I understand. And that is not part of this project. This project, originally, I was anticipating another project in Benestar 10. We have 60 apartment units there. And whereas the domestic violence shelter would have went hand in hand with that project. This project was designed strictly just for family. So the domestic violence portion of the project is actually on Benestar 10, on Benestar 10 apartments. And I have a pre-design on that also, but I have talked to, and I apologize not for speaking with you. This is the first I knew that you were heading up the domestic violence sheltering system in South County. I was a part of that years ago, and I totally, I have concerns, and I want to actually move that process and develop some shelter type housing. But this project, this specific project is just for families. 40% of the project is dedicated to strictly families. So that's the dedication that will be on our LURA, our Land Use Restriction Act. That is that's a guidelines of Arizona Department of Housing, and basically we have to go by their guidelines. So honestly, I apologize for that, but this is not for domestic violence victims on this project.
Okay, so I misunderstood Jenny then.
No, and I think Jenny saw the write-up that I did, I know, and it is a part of the Benestar 10 project, whereas we have the new medical facility complex, and we're trying to do some rental housing there that will specifically based on the medical center and their needs for employee housing. And that portion would have also been part, and this is my idea, it's just to let you know since you brought it up, this would have also been done, and it would have been a gated community, number one. And so we had, I can't remember how many units of domestic violence that we had in there, but it was like maybe 5 or 10, somewhere in that area. But the idea was to collaborate with San Luis Medical, that facility, so we can provide training for the victims of domestic violence, for their families, so they'd be secure. We would have a child care center there. So this is a project that I'm working on, but this is not this project specifically.
Okay, so let me get this straight. The one we're talking about, Resolution 2139, doesn't have the domestic violence apartments. It's going to be Benestar 10 project that will have shelter for domestic violence, correct?
That is totally correct, yes.
Okay, got it straight.
Yeah, I apologize for that because
No problem. Just that when Jenny said it, I'm like, well, I didn't read it on here. I missed something, so no problem. Thank you for clearing that up. But I just wanted to mention, what about the pathway along the canal? Maybe we can get a pathway going there. I think the mayor mentioned that already.
yes, and what will happen on that lower part? We have, and this is a development that will happen once I develop the funding, I guess, for it. Basically, is what that's about. But but the project designed with 50 high-quality townhouses. And we're going to have to put a retention wall along the canal. And we're thinking along the canal, I know I talked to Matias and some other people that wanted to see that walking path, the council on the council. And so it's very doable, I think, with that project. This particular project doesn't quite reach the canal. So we are going to do the earthwork and lay out both projects up to the retaining wall. And then the retaining wall will have to be a part of that. And that's when we can actually do the walking path probably through there.
Okay, Gary, sounds good. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
And Vice Mayor, I might want to clarify, Gary, I think it might have been my mistake, but in the application, when it talked about units set aside and a special population, it did domestic violence. So maybe, I think that's what confused it, and I should have clarified it with you. So my apologies on that.
And it is confusing because I did check that originally. This project originally was going to start 10. But it was out of the opportunity zone, and there was no transportation to it, so it made the project not. At the time, it made the project not a project that would have been successful with Arizona Department of Housing QAP. So that is it, and I remember, and I seen it also, Jenny, so I know what you're talking about exactly. I did check domestic violence, or I wrote domestic violence in there, but it was not checked, and because this project is different.
Okay. Thank you, Gary, for clarifying that.
Thank you, Jenny.
Thank you, Carrie. Gloria, any comments, questions, concerns?
No, Mayor, just thanking Comité de Bienestar for all he done for the community. He always thinking about in the community. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Gary.
Good, good. So the consensus was to go ahead and proceed.
Okay. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council, Vice Mayor.
Thank you, Gary. Appreciate it. Let's see here. I will now entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second?
And
There's a motion, there's a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Bye.
Aye. All those against? Motion carries. Have a good night, guys. Thank you. Great work.
Good night.